welcome to my home late at night on a Saturday. You're probably all out and about. I am just sitting around thinking. I've been reading. I've been taking some time for myself that I very much needed because I've been working quite a lot. a lot. I wanted to talk to you briefly about an astrological event occurring in the wee hours of the morning here in Eastern Standard Time. It is currently right now 11:31 as I am recording. And at 2:41 a.m. we will have a new moon and a solar eclipse in the sign of Cancer. Sign of Cancer, bringing up some deep emotions that might be kind of underneath the surface for all of us. So I wanted to talk about that briefly. This solar eclipse and our following lunar eclipse on July the 5th are the last two eclipses in the Capricorn Cancer eclipse series. Now, this particular eclipse series started back on July 12th of 2018. So think back to the beginning of July, what happened in your life around the beginning of July, and we're still seeing some movement associated with that eclipse series now. Now, these last 2 years for many have been a time of a lot of change. People gaining their sense of stability and stability with regards to their emotions and how they handle their interactions with people. A lot of people have also been very focused on family issues and resolving family situations. Specifically, you know, when it comes to mother issues associated with the aspect of Cancer and father issues associated with the aspect of Capricorn. So there's been a lot of changes in people's lives. Some people have made very strong career shifts. Others have made a lot of changes within themselves for transformation to become a better version of yourself. I know for me, this last 2 years has been interesting, difficult, wonderful, difficult, wonderful, difficult, you know, kind of a range of several things. And I personally have gone through a lot of growth, specifically since the solar eclipse on July 2nd, which caused the greatest pain I've ever experienced in my life. And that was a catalyst for great change within me. So what we typically see, so I can equate to it, and I'm sure I've talked to several of you that have also gone through, you know, a lot of change in the last 2 years. And so you're seeing that cycle's coming to an end. But this eclipse tonight in the new moon is a solar eclipse. Now this solar eclipse, the Ring of Fire solar eclipse, we won't be able to see it here over here in the US, but this particular solar eclipse, when we have solar eclipses, they're said to bring new things into our lives, and lunar eclipses are said to, you know, move things out of our lives. I personally have had the opposite, where lunar eclipse tend to bring something new, and solar eclipse tends to, you know, kind of make change. So you could see either or, depending on where you are on your own individual journey and what's happening in your life right now. Now, this particular solar eclipse is happening at 0 degrees of Cancer, which is considered this monumental astrological event of seismic proportions. Not seriously, but it's considered to be extremely powerful. And so a lot of astrologers have been talking about the fact that, you know, this particular solar eclipse could bring about change, social change within our you know, different governments and places that we live. And so we're seeing a lot of changes. You know, we're seeing a lot of movement with several planets, and we also have, oh gosh, which planet was stationing on June the 23rd? I can't recall, but there's 6 planets that are also affecting us with the same energy. So we're seeing, you know, large societal changes as well as changes individually. Now, eclipses, the energy of an eclipse can last several months. It can last 6 months. So whatever new things that you start in this particular solar eclipse, you know, maybe you'll be seeing that extending, learning your lessons and growing from it over the next few months. And we have the lunar eclipse on July 5th, the final eclipse of the Capricorn Cancer series. So hopefully during the Capricorn Cancer series, you have found your sense of your own internal balance, or you have been working on it, and that you have grown significantly from that time frame. We just started the Sagittarius Gemini eclipse series, which we talked about. That was our last eclipse. So I wanted to show you something, because I was thinking about the alignment, you know, with the solar eclipse. At the time of the solar eclipse and the new moon, the moon and the earth and the sun are all in alignment. They're all in alignment. They're at an exact point of alignment. There's a specific term for it. I believe it was like annular. And it reminded me of a tarot card. And so I want to talk about this tarot card for just a minute. The World. So this is from the Good Tarot. And if we notice here with the World, we have the Earth and the Sun and the Moon are all in alignment, right? We also have another planet here. Not sure which planet, but I have another planet here. And if you notice in this particular card, one, it's the World, a cycle coming to an end, right? A cycle coming to an end with the World. So a cycle, the cycle of the Capricorn Cancer eclipse series is coming to an end. There's still, the energy is still going to play out for a while, but it's important for you to look back, and I have the dates sitting down in front of me because I want to read the dates to you in case they're of importance. The dates from 2019 and 20. Think back on these particular dates and what has happened for you in the last 2 years during this eclipse series. Well, we have a cycle coming to an end, but it's all in perfect alignment. And what is it in perfect alignment to? Notice the key up here on the sun being a point of clarity, enlightenment, happiness, all coming to the point of starting something new for you, starting a new direction, starting something beautiful, taking the lessons that you've learned from the last 2 years and moving on into this perfect sense of happiness and gratitude and harmony. But it's required a lot of work for a lot of people. It's required a lot of work to get to that point. It's required a great deal of work. So with the Capricorn Cancer eclipse season, I'm going to read you the dates. Just in case they're of importance, think back. An eclipse can begin to affect you up to a month before the eclipse and can continue to affect you for months after, up to 6 months after usually. But in that first month, it's most powerful. So the very first eclipse was July the 2nd. So what was happening around the beginning of July? Because like I said, that energy could start a little bit ahead of that. What was happening around the beginning of July? So July the 2nd, 2018. Then the next one was January 5th, 2019. That one was a solar eclipse, Capricorn solar eclipse. July 2nd was the Cancer solar eclipse. July of 2019. July 16th was the Capricorn lunar eclipse. Last year in July, a lot of people went through dramatic changes. So either around the time of the July 2nd or the July 16th eclipse, people were going through dramatic changes in their life. So you may have seen some movement there. December 25th, so Christmas. What happened on Christmas? Did anything good happen for you on Christmas? on Christmas, December 25th, 2019. So what happened at Christmas? On Christmas Day, was there a beautiful, wonderful gift that the universe gave you? Because that was a solar eclipse. That was a new beginning, a new start, an opportunity for a new start anyway. Then January 10th, 2020 was a lunar eclipse. That's kind of moves something out. That was in Cancer. And now we have tonight's solar eclipse. And then there's one on July 5th as well. So now these dates could be GMT. So, you know, think that day or the day after if you're in Eastern Standard Time. So I think it's really important to note that, you know, any emotions that come up for you as a result of this new moon solar eclipse, you know, they're coming up to the surface in order for you to deal with them, in order for you to process them and release them, to move forward. Anything that happens, you know, over the next month or so, there may be an important learning lesson from it. Being that we have a solar eclipse, something fresh and new very likely could occur this week as a result of this solar eclipse and the new moon. I've already told all of you what house, you know, your sign, what house it is in for your sign. But because it is in the sign of Cancer, it could bring up something very emotional for you. Something that, you know, you've hoped for and wished for. So keep an eye out. Have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I shall see you again soon. Bye-bye, y'all.